All right, so you're ready to start your journey down this road of DeFi. You've downloaded your MetaMask wallet. You've gotten prepared. You're ready to try this stuff out. What's next? Let's get into it. All right, welcome back to Common Guy DeFi. We're going to start off very basic with this stuff. By the way, I'm Keith, Carolina Keith, Professor Keith, however you want to say it. I'm all decked out in my Tar Heel gear. It's October 28th, 2022. Basketball starts in just like a week. Super happy about it. We're ranked #1 again in the nation again this year. I'm lit about it. Besides the point. So, we aim to make this more simple and not as complicated as everyone else. So what I'm going to show you next is a breakdown of how things work. I'm literally going to do it on the screen for you with my real money, show you how to get this done, show you how it works, every step needed to do this. This is going to take me probably 5 minutes to do total. Now it's going to look like much more than that because obviously the videos are chopped up and edited, you know. Not the point. Point is, I'm going to kind of streamline this to show it for you. This is how it works. Let's get into it. Now, the first thing I've got pulled up here is the chart for AVAX. I'm going to be using AVAX and TraderJoe for this. TraderJoe is the exchange for AVAX. It's decentralized, and AVAX is their native pair for that, native token for that. I'm sorry. So why do I show you the chart? Well, what I'm showing you is important to understand whether the value is increasing or decreasing on these assets because impermanent loss is a real thing. What is impermanent loss? What am I talking about? Well, I'll break it down to you like this. The more volatile the asset is that you put into the pool, the more likely it is it's going to cost you a lot to get that back out of the pool. All right. So if you were to put AVAX paired with Tether into a pool and AVAX doesn't move very much, well, your impermanent loss is going to be very low. And this can range anywhere between 3% to 50%. Yes, 50%. It can happen. It happened to us last bull run. So I'm going to give you the warning. Before you do this, before you put it in the pool, understand there may be impermanent loss. And again, impermanent loss, when you put AVAX and USDT in the pool together, if that asset, AVAX, becomes very volatile and goes up very, very high in value, let's say right now, the price of AVAX is $17.35. You can see it right there, right? Today, again, it's October 28th, 2022. It's about 9 in the morning here. So, East Coast time. Right now, if I put this AVAX USDT in the pool, and this price goes from $17 to $170, when I go to take that out, it's going to cause an imbalance in the pool. Okay, essentially, I'm removing liquidity, and I'm removing a lot of liquidity. Okay, I'm pulling out over 10 times what I put in, right? So that's going to cause an imbalance. And when that imbalance happens, that's when impermanent loss comes in. Essentially, they take part of my earnings, they fill up the pool with part of my earnings. There's a big fancy algorithm for it, and there's a formula for it. But essentially, they help balance the pool whenever I pull liquidity out, because you're going to have people that are going to absolutely rip you apart on this pool if you get too silly with it. And that's another reason I'm going to show you the numbers that I'm using, the amount of money I'm using for the example. Now, there's the chart. I wanted to show you that first. This is, in my opinion, a bull market strategy. You want this to work for you during a bull market to cover all of your impermanent losses and cover your fees, plus make you some money. Yes, you can do this in a bear market. I don't think it's beneficial. You're going to lose more money on the value of the token that you put in there than you're going to gain in the gains from staking it or adding to the liquidity pool. I'll show you what I mean now. All right, so this is my actual KuCoin account. I have, as you see on the screen right here, $202 worth of AVAX available. Why? Well, I'm going to send this AVAX to MetaMask. When I send this AVAX to MetaMask, I'm going to then split the AVAX between AVAX and USDT. That will be added into the liquidity pool together, 50-50, okay, 1-to-1 ratio. I'm going to put that in the liquidity pool, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. I'm taking a risk right now of impermanent loss. This is part of the game, all right? If you don't understand DeFi and you don't want to do it, I fully get it. So warning, This is not financial advice, and if you don't want to get involved with this stuff, I fully understand it. There will be stable staking videos that come out soon where the impermanent loss is much, much lower. All right, and that will earn you far, far less. However, we'll get into that when we get there. Now, I'm going to send this to my MetaMask as I talked about before. So up here in the corner, I have my MetaMask, right? I have it on AVAX network. If you're not on AVAX network, you need to be. How do you get on AVAX network? Well, here's Trader Joe. I'm going to disconnect this. Excuse me. I'm going to disconnect this to show you how it works. All right. And I just logged out of my MetaMask. Okay. Now I'm going to log back in. And as you see, it's disconnected. None of this stuff will work. It'll keep asking me to connect my wallet, et cetera, et cetera. And like I said, you can't see it on my screen, but it's up here in the top right corner. Up here, it says connect wallet, right? And it's a MetaMask wallet. Like I said, you download MetaMask. So once you click on it, it's going to say, would you like to connect to the AVAX network? Well, yes, I would like to connect to the AVAX network so I can do this work, right? Going to connect now. MetaMask. Error connecting. Try again, right? Perhaps I should log in first. So I'm going to log in now. All right. There we go. I've logged in. As you see, I have 0.89 over here right now. What's that worth? Well, AVAX is worth 17 bucks. We break out the calculator here. So $17.38 times 0.8944. I have about 15 bucks in there. Okay. I'm going to add more to it. So let's do that now. I'm going to click on MetaMask. I'm going to be sending AVAX. Okay. So this is the address I'm going to send it to. I'm going to click on that. All right. And let's go back to our exchange. I'm going to turn the camera off so you can see all this. So right here, I have withdrawal. I'm going to click on withdrawal. Right off the bat, it asked me, are you sure you want to do AVAX? Yes, I'm doing AVAX. What address am I going to send it to? What network? All right. Well, enter the withdrawal address. I just copied it from my MetaMask. So I'm going to click paste. Real quick. If you've never done this before, send a test amount. Send 10 or 15 bucks. Why do I say that? Because it's a whole lot better to lose 10 or 15 bucks and start over again than it is to lose 10,000 or 15,000. All right. So if you've never done this, just send a test amount. It's so much simpler to not worry about the couple cents you spent on the test amount or lose that test amount than it is to lose a bunch. I've done this hundreds of times, so I'm not as worried about it. I already know how this works, but you'll see what I'm saying. So I've got my address in here where I'm going to send it to. Now I'm going to pick the network. This is important. You want to use Avalanche C chain, and right there it tells you fees 0.17, right? I'm going to send 0.17 to, it's going to cost me 0.17 to send it. Okay. We'll click confirm. There we go. It's asking me how much do I want to send. I'm going to send all of it, right? Withdrawal. It says confirm withdrawal that you're doing 11.69 AVAX. It's going to cost 17 cents to do it. Where I'm sending it to, and click confirm. Now it's going to ask my verification codes. I'm going to do this off camera because it's my codes. All right. It's actually a triple verification. You have a password to put in, plus you have a email verification, plus you have a two-factor authentication. All three of those must be done, and I just did all three of them. As you say, withdrawal initiated, and we start our wait for it to send from KuCoin, where I just had it on. You saw $202. Now we're sending that to our MetaMask wallet. It usually takes a couple minutes. All right, so now the fun stuff begins. Sorry, it's been about 2 minutes. So I click on my MetaMask up here. And now I have 12 AVAX in there as opposed to the 0.8 that I had before. Excellent. So we've received our funds. Now it's time to find the pair that we want to add liquidity to. Take the camera off. pick whichever pair we want, and then we're going to add some liquidity to it. So let's go to pool here and find the one we want, right? So the ones I see right now that kind of interest me are USDT and AVAX right here. That pays 13%. That's not too bad. AVAX USDC, look at this one. It pays 16.5%. That's not too bad. AVAX USDTE pays 11.2%, so forth and so on. I kind of like the idea of, let's click and see what the max big APRs are. I don't want to do these. These are a bit much for me. And here you go. Here's the other big risk of this. This is two separate assets, Joe token and AVAX token, put into a liquidity pool together. So you've got double the risk for impermanent loss, double the risk for the price to fall, but you have double the reward if both the prices of the coins go up. Now, I'm not going to get involved in that. That's a little bit too much risk for me. I'm a little bit more risk adverse than most. This is about as risky as I want to take it. So I'm going to go back here to the AVAX USDC pool. And I think that's the one I'm going to do, AVAX USDC. All right, so let's go swap some of our AVAX for USDC. All right, so right here we have 12.5. If you don't have the coin in your wallet, you click add USDC to wallet right here. It'll give you a confirmation on the right. You can't see that right now, but that's what's happening. You click add token. I just added it. Now in my wallet, rather than there only being AVAX, there's USDC as well. Okay, got that? Cool. So now we're going to split the AVAX and the USDC. So people ask all the time, you know, what are you doing here? How much do you do, etc.? Well, you need to do 50-50, but you also need to remember that you need to keep some AVAX in your wallet all the time, like I had before, for gas fees, because AVAX is where they get their fee money from for doing these transactions for you. All right, they're going to charge you about 17 cents all the way up to 30 cents sometimes to do these transactions, which, trust me, that's still far, far, far cheaper than anything on the Ethereum network. So we're gonna split this now, but we're gonna split it in such a way that we keep some AVAX in our wallet for fees. All right, that way you don't have to keep adding money to your wallet constantly when you don't have enough money for fees. That sucks and it's annoying. So always keep a little bit of dust in your wallet in the form of AVAX to handle this stuff with. So let's do max AVAX. Okay, that would give us 219 USDC. Well, we don't want to do that. We only want like $100 worth of USDC because we're going to split it 100 USDC, $100 worth of AVAX. So let's go down here and do 100. I'm sorry, 199. That's not what I want. 100. That gives us 5.7 AVAX into the pool. 100. That leaves us 5.7 AVAX. 100 USDC. We'll hit swap now. It'll ask us to confirm it. Then we just wait. Our MetaMask will pop up here on the right and ask me, are we sure we want to do this? You can't see it, but it's charging me 0.005 AVAX to do that. Let's do the math on that. 17.48 times 0.0058. It's charging me 10 cents to do it. Okay. So I'm going to wait on this to happen. I'll hit close. And it's already done. You can see up in the corner right here. It's kind of saying swap complete. Good deal. We're ready to provide liquidity now. Okay. So now we have $100 worth of USDC and we have more than that in AVAX. We have 6.8 AVAX. So we have $100 plus worth of AVAX. This gives us money to put money into the pool, plus have some leftover dust to continue handling a lot of transactions with. Now let's provide some liquidity. All right, so back over to the pools again here. This is the one I was talking about, AVAX USDC. We'll click on this. Excuse me. So right here, it starts to ask me, you know, what kind of liquidity would we like to provide? Well, we're going to do max USDC because we want our USDC right here to be matched perfectly with the AVAX. And whatever's left over, we're keeping in our wallet. So we're going to click max USDC. That tells us that 5.7 AVAX is going in with $100 of USDC. And we're going to have left over, it looks like 1.13 AVAX left over because, 6.8 minus 5.7. I'll do the exact math for you here. 6.849 subtract 5.7 1585 leaves us 1.1315 AVAX. We'll times that by 117. Ah, shoot, done messed up now. 6.849 minus 5.71585 equals times 17.58 equals $19.92 will be left over in our AVAX wallet in the form of AVAX to do transactions with. $20 sitting in the wallet isn't enough to worry me about whether the price goes up or down a lot. It's only $20. I'm not stressing over it. Okay. You got to learn to deal with that as well. So I've got 100 going in. I've got this much AVAX coming in. Approve USDC. You're going to have to do this. If you haven't approved the tokens already, you've got to approve them. It's going to charge me 3 cents to do this. I'm going to click yes. It's telling me right now the APR is 16%. That's dope. It's telling me they've earned about $6,500 every hour. Okay. There's $14 million in this pool currently. And a volume every day of about 2.6 million, where it's coming in or out. In or out, doesn't matter. All right, we'll give it a second here. It says right there that it has approved it. Let's refresh. You can always just hit refresh and do this again. Give it a second to calculate. There we go. Max. So 100 USDC going in, 5.7 AVAX going in, leaves me what I told you would have left over, which is about $19 left over, sitting in my wallet in the form of AVAX. You hit supply. It asks me, are we sure? Yeah, we're sure. Let's do it. It's going to charge me 0.006 to do this, so about 11 cents. Click confirm, transaction submitted, and now we wait. Give it a couple moments here. It usually doesn't take very long. AVAX is pretty quick. You can trace all this stuff on Snowtrace, which is just similar to AVAX, which is similar to Ethereum's Etherscan. They have their own blockchain, so it has their own transactions. And right here you see we added 5.7 AVAX, 100 USDC to the liquidity pool. We have successfully added our money to the pool. Now, perhaps you want to go look at that and see it. Let's show you that next. All right, so right here it tells you your share of the pool is 0.1%. Big dogs here. That's what we do, right? Big money. It tells you what you have pooled, $99.93 and 5.6 AVAX. You can't really do anything with this other than leave it be. If you're ready to remove it, you can remove it. You just click remove and you do everything in reverse that we just did. Takes the money back out. Then you'll go back over here to trade, swap it for whatever you want to swap it for, knock yourself out. Perhaps there's a different token that you want to do. You click down here, tons of tokens on the AVAX network. If you want to be a degenerate and swap it to some other degenerate token, knock yourself out. Not my thing. So I'm going to stick to the big dogs here. I have a general distrust for DeFi to begin with. That's the purpose of why we make these videos. We want it to be easier and simpler for everybody to be able to do this and not the hardcore stuff that isn't totally necessary to get into. So with that, that's it. We're going to leave this in here. Like I said, it's October 28th, 2022. We'll leave it in here as an experiment to see how it does. The $200 isn't too much of a worry to me, whether I lose it or not. It's okay. It's just $200. Not going to freak out over it. So I'm going to leave it here and let it work. We'll see how it does. We'll check on this periodically, and I'll post the updates on this on the Discord, and we'll let everybody know what's going on. Thank you for watching. We'll be back again for the next video. We'll probably go over Solana or another, or we can go over higher stake risking, or we can do a USDC pool, whatever. We'll work on those later. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys on the next Common Guy DeFi video. Peace.